Former Vice President Mike Pence, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and other Republican presidential hopefuls are in Atlanta today for an annual conference called The Gathering, where listeners of a conservative radio show get up-close access to candidates. Notably missing, former President Donald Trump. Mike Pence took to the stage just a short bit ago, speaking about what he says he wants to debate with Donald Trump during the first presidential debate next week in Milwaukee. Take a listen.
I always stood loyally by President Donald Trump until my oath to the Constitution required me to do otherwise. But my differences with the president go far beyond that fateful day. And I hope to have a chance to debate him with him. Sometimes people ask me, how do you envision debating Donald Trump? And I say, I've debated Donald Trump 1,000 times, just not with the cameras on.
Our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is nearby at the Grand Hyatt Buckhead, where the event is taking place. She joins me now with more. So, Rachel, Trump's rivals are daring him to show up on that debate stage. But, Rachel, you are learning that he might not show up after all. What can you tell us?
Yes, Alexis. The former president's rivals are itching for the opportunity to debate the former president at the very first Republican debate, now just days away. But sources tell us that the former president will likely skip that debate, and he's strongly considering doing an interview with Tucker Carlson instead. This is something that the former president has been weighing for a number of weeks now. We are told that the RNC needs about 2 days' notice in order to prepare if the former president wants to take the stage. Of course, he has qualified as the front runner in this race. But of course, sources do indicate that Trump could change his mind at any moment. We've seen this in recent days. He said he wanted to hold a press conference on Monday. He's now scrapped those plans at the advice of his legal counsel, Alexis.
And of course, we can't ignore the location of this conference, right? In Atlanta, days after the former president was indicted in Georgia. So what's the significance of that? And how are Republican candidates responding to the indictment now?
Exactly. I mean, we are about 10 miles away from where former President Donald Trump could turn himself in just a matter of days. Reminder, he has until basically the end of next week to do that, just right after that first Republican debate. What we are seeing from the candidates is what they've been continuing to do is sort of walk this very fine line when it comes to Trump and these multiple investigations that he is facing. Now, I did have the opportunity to catch up with the former vice president, his former running mate, Mike Pence, after he spoke on that stage, and take a listen to what he told us.
I do think it's important, irrespective of that case or other cases going forward, that we speak the truth to the American people, that I had no right to overturn the election. And the Georgia election was not stolen. Now, as the case goes forward, former president and others are entitled to their day in court, and we'll continue to stand on that principle.
So you see it there. He's coming out to say he had no authority to overturn the election. He says that the Georgia election was not stolen. We know those are false claims that Trump continues to push, but he's not exactly going after the former president as some may have expected with all of these investigations going on. And that's because Trump is still extremely popular across the country and in states like Georgia. So they continue to walk this very fine line because they don't want to turn away the voters that they may need to come to the Republican nomination, Alexis.
Very measured here, Rachel. What else sticks out to you from this conference? What does it tell you about the state of the race as we head into next week's debate?
I think one notable thing is how eager many of these candidates, even though they're not taking Trump on directly on the stump, they want the opportunity to contrast themselves on a debate stage with him on the issues. I mean, that's exactly what we just heard from Pence. We're hearing very similar things from DeSantis. They may not want to go after him when it comes to these investigations, but they want the opportunity to share that debate stage with him. They want the opportunity to compare and contrast where they stand on key issues. They won't likely be able to get the opportunity to do that because the former president may not show up, but it says a lot about the standing of where things are in this race. We still have 4 indictments here, and Trump is still the front runner with a clear hold on this Republican Party.
And we're also learning more about how Ron DeSantis is preparing for next week's debate. Can you break that down for us, Rachel?
Yeah, Alexis, and all of this is coming from an unexpected leak. A memo was posted online. This is a group that is affiliated with the DeSantis super PAC supporting the Florida governor, and it revealed in pages, this trove of documents, his debate strategy, allegedly. This is him going after Vivek Ramaswamy, who has been rising in the polls, coming up in states like Iowa. He's been getting a very warm reception, I can tell you, out there on the campaign trail, even tossing out names to call him Vivek the Fake. Then talking about how he could possibly defend the former president if former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie ends up going after Trump, coming to his defense for a little bit of that. So some of the rehearsed lines that you may see on the debate stage that candidates sort of pull out in the moment, we've gotten a straight preview of that. Now, the big question is whether or not DeSantis ends up taking any of these lines from this debate memo. Of course, we will see that debate just a few days away, Alexis.
We call those well-rehearsed ad-libs. All right, Rachel Scott, thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.